He came in.
Do you want to do the minutes next? The accepting the minutes?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, accept minutes from last week. Any motion?
I move.
You're in. Second by Ron. All in favor?
Aye.
Guess the practice is to abstain, just because I wasn't on it last month. That's
Did
what
You gotta
Did you
quit,
get a copy of the minutes?
you gotta participate more.
Did you get a copy of the minutes?
Yeah.
You didn't read them?
Oh, Dick, he abstained on the last one, so.
Yeah, he wasn't present, so we should.
He wasn't.
You got enough
Copy of the
people,
minutes.
right?
If you read it,
Well,
we got a presentation from Sheriff.
oh,
Eric had to leave.
Okay, you don't have that.
This is his last swim
Did
coat.
you-
coat
did-
day.
topics.
So hold on one, if actually, if we could hold on that for a second. What? I want to just say, I want to ask Tom. Traditionally, what we've done is just, all the presentation was Eric going through the balances for the month, you know, like Patty used to. So if you guys want to see anything different in that, let me know. We can try to build it into a more robust report. So,
that's fine.
I always thought it was kind of
It's been like that.
Yeah.
We've been here 2 years, you know.
That's fine. Oh, then we'll do less of it. Great. That's fine with me.
Okay, I guess now we're moving topics.
Local law intro number 1-2020, amending local law number 9-2019, providing for the partial exemption of certain real property owned by persons 65 years of age or over, and a resolution to set the public hearing for March 3rd, 2020 at 5 p.m.
I'll move.
We just need a.
Oh, yeah, that's a year.
Yeah.
You'll get the hang of it.
Jared?
I just have one question. How much are we planning on in exemptions if we go through this? Just out of curiosity.
Jerry, this is the exemption that was passed last year. When we went to enter the values into the system, it wouldn't accept the values that were passed last year. The computer calculates after you set the maximum income for the 50% exemption, the computer calculates the rest. So the calculations that were approved last year need to be adjusted by the final three numbers need to be adjusted. The 30% needed to be adjusted by $100. 25% needed to be adjusted by $200, and the 20% needed to be adjusted by $300. So overall, it's just a $300 adjustment in the final maximum income. So it's the same exemption that we've always had. It's just a
The income.
right. It's
Yeah,
an
okay,
increase
thank
to
you.
income. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Candy, you indicated the poverty level on one. What is the poverty level?
Going from the census data, just 1 second.
No, what's the dollar amount for poverty?
For owner occupied,
No, what determines,
The income level.
yeah, the income
income
level?
level for poverty. Yep, that was $5,652 or less for one senior, and $7,578 or less for two seniors. Is what they're classifying as the poverty level.
Poverty level is $578 a month?
No, $5,652 or less for one senior, and $7,578 or less for two seniors.
A year. A year.
So, yeah.
Wow.
That's for property issues, right?
This is
Because it's different for whether or not you social services or something else.
I
I'm
was
assuming
asking
so,
income
yes.
level.
There's no way that's the income. We'll have to get back to you on
Yeah.
that, because nobody makes, no seniors
Yeah,
make
how could
$5,000.
they get
Right.
What do you mean?
I thought when I was, it was 17, but.
We'll get back to you, I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any other questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Resolution to appropriate $100,000 from capital funds to capital building and grounds project HAC account.
Any questions?
None here.
This is budgeted, we're just doing the formalities.
We are, these next four are all taking the capital plan and appropriating the money according to the capital plan.
That's in the budget.
That's in the budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Resolution to transfer $65,100 from capital funds to capital county road striping project HAI account.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution to transfer $50,000 from fund balance into capital funds and then appropriate $50,000 from capital funds to capital data processing project HAE account.
Any questions?
Yeah, fund balance,
So, rather than, last year at budget time, we talked about needing to replenish capital data processing, because every couple of years or 3 years, we put some money into it and we slowly draw it down. Rather than putting additional $50,000 on the levy for 2020, we're using leftover money from 2019, which is now fund balance, because we had a surplus to appropriate into the capital data processing.
we're in the middle of January and we're using fund balance already, it's kind of, I hear what you're saying, but.
Right, but it's similar to what you guys used to do in the past, where you do it at the end of 2019, take the extra that you had left over in contingency or sales tax, wherever else it might be, but we're just doing it a month later, that's all.
Anything else?
No.
All in favor?
I just had-
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
It's not an additional expenditure that we're taking out of the fund balance.
It's happened before.
Right.
Resolution to appropriate $523,000 from capital funds to capital equipment project HAD account.
I have another question. Is this going towards equipment at both solid waste and highway, or just?
This is, if you look at page 2 of your capital budget, and then our total for this year was $606,000 county appropriations we're gonna spend on equipment. Then we took the loader out, or the low bed trailer out. We did that with contingency at the end of last year. So you take 606 and you subtract 85 and you get 523 or whatever. It's close to that. It's within 1,000.
Any other questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution appointing Dennis Mastacusa of Lowell, New York to the Development Authority of the North Country Board effective February 1st, 2020 through January 31st, 2024.
He's just doing another term.
Oh, you've already done it? Is, what's Turk story?
No, I don't think
How
so.
about,
No.
How many seats does Lewis County have?
That's a good question. I thought only one. That
I think
opened.
more than one. I
Dude,
thought
is it
Gary was still on it.
Gary's not the chair anymore. He used to be the chair of the board. I don't know.
Always thought that she was gonna let him stay on that board.
Used to be.
Can you? We'll have to look at the Danks bylaws on what they allow.
Rick was,
I can get you anything.
Yeah, the other counties don't have legislators on either, I don't think. But it doesn't mean we can't do it if we want to. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know if Gary Turk's still on the Dank board?
I believe he is.
Was that up in Harrisville?
I think he's about to get off, but I'm not sure when the term ends.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's still the chair or not.
He's not the chair anymore, that union guy is St. Lawrence County the chair.
This is just a renewal of his terms.
Any other questions? But
If Gary's is coming up, we'll have to check the bylaws, but if the legislator wants to sit on that, then.
Is he on there anymore?
I thought that Dennis Mastacusa filled his spot on the bench.
Dennis was on
Gary
already.
Turk? No, there was somebody else, I'm pretty sure.
It was Rick Lucas, too. Those were the two
It
from.
could have been Rick's, yeah.
Here's their whole board right here. Frederick Carter is chairman, Margaret Murray, vice chairman, Thomas Heffernan, treasurer, Dennis Mescusa, secretary. You have Alfred Callagans, Mary Doney, James Hollenbeck, Stephen Hunt, John Johnson Jr., Alex McKinnon, Brian McGrath, and Gary Turk.
So he's still on there. But I think you're right, I think his term is winding down, so.
Isn't Tony on the board?
Yeah.
Mary Dolan.
Tony, she's on the Justice County Board a lot. She just
It's two from
retired
each
now.
county and two from the city of Watertown.
Okay, there you go.
any other
Two from
questions?
each.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution appointing John Lehman of Krogan, New York to the Lewis County Planning Board effective February 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2022.
Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution to appoint Cassandra Mosier as the Lewis County Self-Insurance Plan Administrator retroactive to January 1st, 2020 for an annual salary of $10,000.
What do you think about that, John?
I have to go into executive session to talk about that.
What do you think about that?
Been doing it.
That's
I'm
enough.
fine with whatever.
Good answer.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution brought forward by the General Services Committee to amend the compensation plan of the County of Lewis with reference to the District Attorney's Office to create a temporary interim position effective and retroactive to December 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2020 with compensation not to exceed $8,000.
Any questions?
Is it right?
The previous committee had made amendments to that, to basically say that this is the limit and that it will not be revisited again this year.
This was the number that was discussed earlier.
Yeah, same number. Did I basically get that right, Gary?
820.
And this is to pay for everything she owes.
But this is committing money and we weren't gonna commit money.
It's either money or suicide.
Right, Jerry? You didn't wanna commit money, right? She had to get it out of her budget, or you said in
This is permission.
August or September?
Correct, this isn't committing money. She has to have permission. The positions don't exist. This is essentially creating those
Okay,
positions.
we're not committing money with this.
Well,
We're just
We are.
committing to the max.
You're
Have to
good,
put
you're,
28,000 in the pot from somewhere.
Somebody's gonna sign it.
she doesn't need extra money in her budget yet. But if she expends all of this, plus what she was planning on expending already, then she will need money eventually. My point was, let's
She can
do
double-
that in
she
August
can
or
double the
September,
street.
Right.
She can
rather
double
than
it.
right now, because it's January 1st, there's no point in loading up somebody's
So
budget.
the only
they
thing
might
we're
not need.
committing to is a not to exceed number.
Correct,
In
yes.
both of these.
Yes, including the
Okay.
yeah.
Any other questions or discussion?
Yeah, I still have one, cause Brian, you confused the hell out of me with that one. In other words, whatever she owes, the money you're putting in there is all she's getting. So she's already spent $6,000 out of the $20,000 account. She's got 14,000 for the rest of the year, not 20.
Correct,
Okay,
yeah.
so why are we even talking about putting more money in?
Because these are both unbudgeted expenses.
Right, but once we approve them, maybe you can put it in drips and drabs, or maybe we ought to improve a little bit at a time.
Yeah, So my thought on that was, it's still the first month of the year. We can go ahead and give them an additional $28,000, but why not let it run a little bit, see if by August and September, maybe they can tighten in some other areas. Maybe they'll be able to absorb it. Probably not, but at least give them a chance, rather than just giving them money up front, then you know it's gonna be spent, basically.
Well, if I'd known that, I would cut it in half, instead of 28, 14, and see how it shakes out, and then come back.
And then
You
come
gotta
back.
challenge him, Ryan.
Because she knows what she's got.
She will exceed.
Thank you.
She always does.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
No?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Passed.
Resolution brought forward by the General Services Committee to amend the compensation plan of the County of Lewis with reference to the District Attorney's Office to create a temporary part-time assistant district attorney position effective and retroactive to January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020, with compensation not to exceed $20,000.
Any questions, comments?
That again is gonna have the same language that the General Services Committee added to it, that we'll see in the final resolution.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Executive session.
Okay, I guess
There's two things we wanna talk about in executive session, both related to compensation.
motion to go into executive session and discuss compensation.
Wanna do that now, or you wanna do the rest of
Oh,
this?
hold on, Jerry, do you have something?
Before you do that, I'd have one document to share, if you're open to that. We're going into executive session, it is not on your agenda.
Now we can get Jerry first.
Yes, thank you.
I'd like to pass out a document. And you need one for
You?
You should have been through one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Within the next few months, I'll be coming before you to show you how the plans are developing for the capital project that I introduced to you last year. And this project is intended to do two things, right? It's intended to allow us to continue to evolve as a health system, making sure we have the right services for Lewis County and an infrastructure that gets us through the next generation. So that's one. The second is viewing Lewis County Health System as an economic entity. And so last year I shared with you this report, and I received this late last week and wanted to bring it to your attention. Not only are we investing in the health system for access to health services, but we're also investing as an economic entity or economic development. We are the largest employer in Lewis County. We have 700 folks who work for us. The value that we bring economically to the county is $115 million. Our payroll is $49 million. We generate 1,000 jobs between the ones that we create within our own system, and we generated $11 million in tax dollars. This goes on to share with you some basic statistics of services delivered. Reimbursement from Medicare and Medicaid, which is a big deal in my world, represents 67% of our revenue. The better of that would be if it were lower, which would mean we had more commercial insurance coming into our enterprise rather than rely on state and federal tax dollars. but that is more an indication of overall economic health. On the back of the sheet are some definitions so you can, put this information together and have it be useful to you. So I wanted to get this out to you now. I'll be sharing it with the Board of Managers tomorrow. And I'll work with the county manager to develop a schedule so we can bring forward to you the plans. There have been some modest adjustments to the timeline and what we think the budget is going to be. We finally reached approval in the last 2 weeks, consensus on the floor plans. Today we had an extensive session on the OR, so the use of CAD drawings allow us to create a three-dimensional look at where the OR tables are and the various cameras and support pieces of equipment for the OR. And then in the last 10 days, we've also had a meeting on the morgue. We met with Leanne Mosier and Eric Berkler to sort of figure out how we can support the county. Right now, our morgue can hold 2 bodies, and we've had a number of days in the past year where the morgue was closed, and we had to work with the local funeral homes to store bodies. So we have some ideas with regards to that, modernizing the morgue and relocating it. It's right next door to the cafeteria. So now in my world we're used to morgues, but there's probably a better place for it.
It can be the walk-in pool.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll take that one under advisement, Ryan. The question the county will have to answer, and Ryan and I have had some conversations, are we going to be part of a larger regional solution for morgue services? And if that can happen in a fairly short order, then that may make some sense. But if we can't, we do have to have some capacity in Lewis County. So that question will influence the size of the morgue. But if we had a good regional plan, one could argue there would be no need for our hospital to have a morgue. So
I've got an update for you on that.
okay. So at any point you have any questions on this, please give me a holler. And,
Jerry,
yes.
on the jobs generated, you said you got 700 people. Now,
Yes.
300 more would be providing services to you, or is that
No, there would be jobs created by spin-off. So
such as?
a construction project where we bring construction personnel in to do something, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 11 million tax dollars, is that the payroll, the income taxes from payroll, or what does that number represent?
Let's see. Yeah, I would want to dig into that one. I haven't really paid attention to that one, and the reason for that is many other hospitals generate much more on the tax revenue side than we do by virtue of our municipal status. But let me get the exact breakdown for you, Larry, and I'll get it to Brian to distribute to the board.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You said you're concerned about that.
Ready for executive session? Need a motion for executive session to discuss payroll personnel?